For my missions project, I decided to research Mission San Juan Capistrano. Here are some basic facts about the mission. Its address is 2601 Ortega Highway, San Juan Capistrano, California, and its zip code is 92675. It was founded on November 1st, 1776 by Junipero Serra to expand Spain's territory and spread Christianity to California's native people. Mission San Juan Capistrano is the 7th oldest of all 21 California missions, and it pays homage to its local Native American, Spanish, Mexican, and European populations. To the right of the slide, I put a picture of Mission San Juan Capistrano, and right below that, I put a picture of the mission's founder, Junipero Serra. Now here is the mission's history. Construction originally began in October 1775, but the destruction of Mission San Diego by Kumeyaay War Party caused building to be postponed after 1 week. Shortly after, construction resumed and the mission was completed on November 1st, 1776. However, the mission began to decline in 1812 due to the December 1812 earthquake, decline in birth rates, increasing deaths due to disease, and the inability of the Spanish government to protect and supply the missions. Following this, the mission stayed under Spain's control until 1821, when Mexico won its independence from Spain and ultimately took control of Alta California and Spain's missions. After this, in 1850, when California became a state, the missions became property of the United States of America until 1865, when Abraham Lincoln gave the mission back to the Catholic Church. After that, from the 1870s to the 1900s, many community leaders and visionaries restored the Orange County landmark to what we see today. To the right of the slide, I included some vintage photos of the mission. And now for the mission's impact. Although the mission was successful for spreading Christianity and expanding Spain's rule, it brought many challenges to Alta California's native populations. Because Spain brought new technology, food, animals, and ideas, natives were forced to change their entire lives by learning a new culture, language, religion, and way of life. In addition to this, Spain also shaped California's landscape with their new animals such as horses and oxen, but devastated indigenous animals and plants during the process. Furthermore, Spain also brought diseases which were unknown to the Native Americans, such as syphilis and pneumonia, which killed almost 75% of indigenous people in California. Today, Mission San Juan Capistrano serves as a landmark, a museum for its multicultural history, and a sacred church. To the right of the slide, I put a past picture of native people at the mission, and to the bottom of that, I put a colored photo of today's gatherings at the mission. And for this slide, I put various pictures of the mission, such as the Serra Chapel, its beautiful gardens, the mission clubhouse where visitors can do various activities, the Great Stone Church bells, and lastly, the Great Stone Church ruins, which collapsed in the 1812 December earthquake. And for my last slide, we will go over why this mission was important to Catholicism. Like all other Spanish missions, San Juan Capistrano was used to expand their rule and spread Catholicism everywhere. Spain's effort to spread Catholicism and its influence is actually very similar to early Christian influencers who did anything to serve God, preach his good news, and even died for their faith sometimes. Additionally, these missions and early influencers are very similar because without them, Catholicism would be far from where it is today, especially in California. For example, Catholicism's early influencers allowed Catholics to flourish and worship without fear. And because of this, these early influencers kind of paved the way for the spread of Catholicism to occur, as seen with the Spanish and their missions. Another reason why I say this is because as of 2010, 10 million out of the 35.5 million people in California are actually Catholic. All in all, Mission San Juan Capistrano is really important to Catholicism because it helps spread our faith and help build it up to the force it is today. To the right of the slide, I provided a map of the Spanish missions to help show how many missions there were and how spread out they were throughout California. And to the bottom of that, I provided a graph of California to show how many Catholics there are in our state. As seen in the graph, the blue areas have the most Catholics, while the orange areas have the least amount of Catholics.